Hello there you guys, I hope you're all doing well. Today I am going to share with you a simple little protection spell bag. This is a spell that I get requests for constantly, and I figured it was about time to make one. Also, please excuse Hazel chewing on her bone in the background. That's kind of just part of the ambiance now. As with the majority of my spells, this is a very simple and accessible one with easy alterations and a lot of tips on how to do that. I really enjoy creating spells that are accessible to beginners and longtime practitioners, as well as ones that are just easy to make your own. I know the majority of you do not live in the same area that I do, and therefore you have very different accesses to herbs and ingredients. Besides, as I say in just about every video, magic is your own, and what's going to work for you isn't going to work for another necessarily, and it's important to put your own twists and spins on things to make it more effective. But I will continue to remind you of this throughout the video. So without further ado, let's get into the simple protection spell bag. This spell is to be worn as a preventative to help keep harmful energies and situations along with negativity at bay. And so the herbs I chose to incorporate into it are ones that help aid in this kind of energy. So for this spell, what I used and what you'll need: a bag, preferably white, though it could be black or blue as well. Feel free to decorate it in any way that you wish to. I tend to, with these kinds of spells, one that I want to add a little extra oomph, I do add runes. Although feel free to add other sigils or symbols that you find to add protective power. And in this case, I use black thread. You'll also need 3 herbs of your choosing. For this, I used bay, blackberry, and burdock. Bay leaves are commonly used in spells for protection and often worn as a protective herb to ward off negativity and evil. Blackberry thorns, some of my favorite for this kind of spell, are very protective and often used in spells for this quality. And burdock roots, very commonly used in spells for protection as they ward off negative energy and offer up protective energies. However, there are quite a few other ingredients you could use as substitutions, and I will add my ingredient recommendations down below, though this is not a complete list, and feel free to add in other herbs that you feel give off protective qualities as well. Then, as always, if you wish to add crystals, feel free to add them. I don't personally use them in Minecraft, as they just don't really speak to me that much. I like them in my space as a decoration and to help kind of enhance energies, but I don't really incorporate them into spells very commonly. But of course, if you wish to, feel free to. And lastly, another optional step, you could tie it off with a black thread. Alright, now that we have all of those ingredients out of the way, let's jump into how to actually execute the spell. Begin the spell as you otherwise would any other. Perhaps you do this by grounding or meditating or cleansing the space. Whatever you need to do to get into the right mindset, a calm and focused one. Then it's really quite straightforward. Take 1 bay leaf, a pinch of blackberry thorns, and a small handful of burdock root, adding them to a bowl after spending a moment adding intent into each individual ingredient. Once they're all in the bowl, spend another moment mixing and infusing intent. Just really putting all that you wish to achieve with the spell into the herbs. There are a couple ways you can do this. I have spoken on intent in the past and plan to more in depth in the future, but some common ways to work intent into a spell like this is to either use visualization, writing, or spoken words. With visualization, it's pretty straightforward. Visualize your intent flowing out of you into it, or perhaps you could feel it. For writing, just write on a piece of paper what you wish to achieve with the spell, your intent for it, and place it into this bowl with the herbs and mix them together and kind of focus on them infusing together. This can alternatively be done with a drawing, or if you wish to use spoken words, speak to it and tell it what you wish for it to achieve. Then, once you're done infusing your intent in whichever way speaks to you the most, add it to the bag. Spend another moment here with the bag, infusing more of your intent and focusing on what you wish for the spell to achieve, and then tie it off. And there you have it. For the spell to be effective, you can wear it on your person, although recently I had somebody else alter the spell, as I often share spells a little early with Patreon. And they altered it for their horse who was about to have a big move, and I thought it was brilliant. So, of course, feel free to alter these spells for anything that you need. Do it for somebody else, do it for a trip, do it for a pet or a loved one. This is a very adaptable spell with very simple steps that are easy to change up. If you end up crafting and wish to share, I'd love to see it on Instagram. And if you have any ideas on how you'd wish to alter the spell or make it your own, please leave them in the comments down below. I'd be really interested to see how you infuse your own craft into something like this. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to help support this channel and the content I make here, I'd really appreciate it if you went and checked out my Patreon. I know it's not for everybody, but it really does help out quite a lot. There I share art and some other fun things. And if you want to see more of my life and other things I create, go ahead and check out my second channel. It will be linked down below. I hope you all are doing well. Thanks again for watching, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye.